it's Bro You Whack, and it's been a hot minute since I've done a tier list, but recently my favorite event just dropped for Overwatch, and it's the April Fool's event. So I figured let's rank all of the hero changes that came from the April Fool's update. Now, a few things that we're going to be considering when ranking these changes. 1, how creative the change is. 2, how good the change is. 3, how funny the change is, because it's the April Fool's event. I want it to be goofy fun time. But the final thing that doesn't really relate to the hero change every single time is how good the voice line is, because every hero has some goofy voice line. But finally, let's get started. But before we do, I want you to comment down below what your favorite April Fool's change is, because there's definitely a few that I wouldn't mind if they kept in the game. First hero up is gonna be Ana. Now, I really like her change because it reminds me of like that SpongeBob meme where he's floating up into the heaven, and same idea here. You sleep somebody and they float up, and then when they drop, they take fall damage, but not a lot. I would have really liked to see the fall damage just fully kill somebody. Now, that might be super overpowered, but hey, if you sleep somebody's Ana and they fly all the way to the heavens, they should die. So because of that, I'm gonna put them in C tier just because it's funny, it's goofy, but it's not that great of a change. Fred, aka Bob, is finally back into the game, but this time as an ability. But the ability is awful. Like it's cool that we're able to summon Bob, but we got a 20-second cooldown. Luckily, whenever you do ult, you still have the iconic Fred or Bob voice line, which is the whole reason why you play Ashe, is for Bob to begin with. So now that it's an ability and he has his own nickname back, I'm gonna be putting them in B tier. It's like the iconic April Fool's change. You gotta have Fred in every single update. Here's an April Fool's change for here that I feel like actually made the hero worse, and it's Baptiste. So normally you're able to charge jump into the air, but here in April Fool's, you're able to leap forward with Baptiste, but the charge is twice as slow, and you don't go that far. You might as well just walk. You have a better shot at getting distance with that. Plus, shooting through the big window or the big glowy thingy, even though it's a funny voice line, it's not that great, which is why we put Baptiste in the F tier, just because, well, he's worse. Somehow, he's a worse hero. Bastion's April Fool's rework is exactly what we wanted for, okay, maybe not everyone wanted this exact change, but I really like the idea of being able to be in your turret form the whole entire time. Then when you transform to your recon form, you get a speed boost and you shoot shotgun pellets. Well, it's not the most unique change. It works for Bastion, and I think it makes Bastion better. It definitely makes Bastion better. So that's why I'm putting him in B tier, mainly just because it's a good change. Brigitte, oh my god, no! They made Brigitte into Reinhardt 2.0, and I don't even argue the better Reinhardt. Not only is she bigger than Reinhardt, but bigger than every single hero in the game, because they increased her volume size, which makes her the best mommy in the whole entire game. But also a semi-good shield tank. Everyone talks about Symmetra being a support, or it may even be in tank, but I feel like they should try to rework Brigitte into a shield tank, because I'm not gonna lie, it makes Brigitte a whole lot more fun playing her this way. You also can't argue with the fact that Brigitte probably has the best ultimate voice line in the April Fool's update. Mace to the 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 S tier face! I don't know why I got so heated there, but I love the Brigitte change, especially with the Vampire Huntress skin. Alright, so Cassidy's change. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably just stupid, but I don't understand his change. He has a new passive wanted ability. Basically, you mark somebody, and when you kill them, you get like 50 HP back, and then you get like 1 shield after every single. I don't get it. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna put him in F tier. I understand the idea of the wanted, because he's an outlaw, but like, he's the outlaw. He's the one that should be wanted, not the enemy. Doomfist's April Fool's update is not all that creative. It's good, but it makes him better. You're able to fully charge up your punch after using some abilities, and that's just it. He's going into D tier just because, again, it's the April Fool's update. We're trying to make heroes more funnier, not necessarily more better, but if you do, we'll make it like really good changes, I guess. Same thing with D.va. D.va is one of the most famous heroes in Overwatch 2, but they gave her a pretty lame change where you're able to fly backwards with her mech, which I got. Yes, I'm wearing Kirby army pajama pants. Kind of sussy when you think about being able to back it up as D.Va. I do like the fact that when you ult, it sends people flying because the knockback is increased to 900%, but that doesn't save it from D tier. I do like her ultimate voice line. That's what saves it from F tier. Pressing kill. We've reached Echo, and I really like her change. Well, she actually got 2 changes. The first is that you're able to get double the beam damage whenever 8 meters out. I don't really care about that. It's great. I like that, but I like her ultimate. Being able to copy an enemy and you just get a random hero. You get the luck of a draw, and I like that. That's the epitome of April Fools, of just fooling yourself, thinking that you're gonna copy a Doomfist, and then you get mercy. We're gonna put her in B tier. Once again, here's another change that I understand how it works. I'm just terrible with, and it's Genji's parry ability. When you're deflecting and you press the primary fire at the exact moment, you will get a critical deflect, and it's really creative. It's just really hard to do. Maybe I'm just bad. Maybe you guys are getting parries, but I'm gonna be putting him at C tier because I also like the voice line. Ching, 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 ching. Hanzo. They keep trying to bring back Scatter Arrow and try to ruin my mood. I hate the fact that Blizzard is living in the past with the stupid arrow. Stop! Bring it back! Scatter Arrow! I hate it! F tier! Bottom F tier! I hate it! I hate him. Illari is experiencing the April Fool's update for the first time ever, and they did a really good job with her. A lot of the changes are just to her ultimate, basically. They just up the damage, up the speed, up all the stats that you get from Illari when you ult, but my favorite part about Illari's ult is that she says SPF 15 is useless, which is kind of a play on Sombra's ultimate, because when Illari ults, it sounds like EMP, but here it's SPF 50 because she's the sun child and SPF 50 is kind of useless. I just like it, okay? And I also like the fact that her hair glows whenever you're on a sun map. Overall, they poured a lot into Illari's changes, which is why she's gonna be the first hero in the A tier. Junkrat Queen's change is one of the most memorable from the April Fool's update, being able to throw Gracie and you yourself as Junkrat Queen go to the knife. You are the magnet, which means you can kind of play Spider-Man with the Junkrat Queen. Plus, her ultimate voice line is always so great too. When you play Junkrat Queen, you're gonna have a fun time. Plus, Junkrat Queen herself, she's a really good hero in the April Fool's update, which is why she's gonna be right next to Illari in the A tier. But when we talk about Junkrat, his change is not, like, it's fine. You're able to detonate your grenades with your secondary fire. It's fine. It's not bad, but it's not creative. Come on now. I like your fire in the hole, but I like you in D tier, by the way, Junkrat. They finally gave Kiriko the ability to double jump, but just like Genji, they made her into a true ninja. Along with that, the protection Zuzu increases your jump by like 700% along with your teammates. Really great changes, really fun changes. The only issue, the reason why she's not gonna rank high is because of her ultimate voice line. Just aim for the head. Come on now. I feel like there could have been a lot more fun ways to play with her ultimate voice line, which is why she's gonna be right here in the middle, right next to Genji in C tier. All right, we got Lifeweaver. Just like Illari, this is his first time with the April Fool's event, and they didn't really do that much with him. You're able to use the pedal platform, which does include googly eyes, and go 20 meters in the air compared to 8 meters, and that's it. It's not that funny. It's not that creative. It's not even really all that helpful to begin with. Like, I guess if you're trying to skip it, it's the April Fool's event. If you cared about meta to begin with, you wouldn't even care about Lifeweaver. That's why he's gonna be right here at the bottom with F tier. Who wants a billion hit points? Lucio's ultimate voice line is awesome. His changes are like weird though. When you use the heal song, you shoot 5 bullets, and then you use the speed song, you shoot 3 bullets. Then when you use the boop, you boop yourself as Lucio. There's so much changes with Lucio's April Fool's update, but I don't know. They're not the greatest, but they're not the worst, which is why he's gonna be right here at C tier. While they made Brigitte into mommy, they made Mauga her son. They made Mauga into a real thing. They shrunk him down, and they took away a bunch of his health, and also changed how his gun works. You're mainly playing Mauga in this April Fool's update because of the goofiness, because he's so small and tiny. This is why I love the April Fool's update. It's because they just play into some meme. Mauga's normally the biggest, but now he's the smallest, and I really like that. This is the epitome of the April Fool's update, which is why he's gonna be going right next to mommy in S tier. He's just so funny and goofy, especially with his voice increase increasing in pitch. So you guys know me, I'm literally wearing a Mei shirt right now, and I really like Mei's change before. Was it the April Fool's event where they made her into a tank at 400 HP? It might have been the April Fool's event, it might have been the experimental card, I'm not sure. I would have loved to see that change, but here they gave her a new ability. You use a pillar of Mei's wall and it pushes you up in the air, and that's really it. It's cool how they're using elements of her hero kit, but it doesn't really help her out that much. I mean, it probably hinders her. Plus her ultimate voice line, it's not that fun. I think she says something in Chinese. I could be totally wrong, but I'm gonna be putting her in D tier, and it pains me to put her in D tier because Mei, she's so adorable. But until they give Snowball googly eyes, she will not go anywhere higher than D tier. We made it to Mercy, and DPS Mercies, you are living the dream because now you're able to heal and shoot from the staff. They took away her pistol and allowed her to shoot bullets from the staff. This is something that I wanted years ago because it's kind of clunky to swap to your blaster and then your staff. Now it's just all in one. But this change, it's still just as clunky. It's very confusing how the reload works and how all that works, but when you get the hang of it, it can be a lot of fun, which is why I'm putting Mercy's change at A tier. It's exactly what Mercy maids want, and it's fun. It's different, and it's creative. The same can also be said with the Moira change because it's exactly what DPS Moira's needs, not what they want. If you guys don't know what Moira's change is, basically they swap Moira's hands, where the sucky suck damage ability is now a heal ability, and it's also yellow, and what was originally the heal spray is now purple poison damage. And if there's any change that needs to be kept in the game, it's this one. Blizzard, please keep this change. I'm begging you. I need DPS Moira's to finally heal. I just wish she had a better ultimate voice line, which is why she's only gonna be at A tier. We made it to Orisa's javelin change, and well, you can ricochet it once. It's sort of like scatter arrow, kind of. That's really it. It's C tier. It's good. It's fine. It's just not that funny. The same thing with Pharah's change, except it's not really all that helpful. I feel like maybe it is helpful. Maybe I'm just using it wrong. Basically, you have a sandbag ability. That's the April Fool's update for Pharah. She's going into D tier. It's not that funny. Ramattra is gonna rank high solely on his ultimate voice line alone.
You will suffer as I, Ramattra, have suffered. Your torment will outlast the stars. When the universe dwindles into dust, there you will be, still suffering as I have suffered.
All right, we get it. Because you wasted so much time, I can't even talk about your change. You're going in C tier. I'm not gonna explain myself. I'm kind of surprised that we never thought of Reaper's change beforehand, where you're able just to shoot one gun or both at the same time. Now, does this make the Reaper change better? Maybe. Being able to double fire your shotguns on one single head at a time could be really good. Plus, his ultimate voice, like, come on, happy birthday, wee! Even if Reaper's change isn't that good, his ultimate voice lines bump him up all the way to B tier. Reinhardt's change is very interesting. Basically, you shrink your shield, but when you shrink your shield, you're able to deflect incoming projectiles. And if they can figure out a way to actually balance this ability, I feel like this could actually be a viable ability for Reinhardt. Would this make him finally a meta hero? No? God, no. They just gotta make him better, but until then, he's gonna be in B tier, and that's probably the highest he's ever gonna be on a tier list. Roadhog's April Fool's change is probably one of, if not the worst change. Basically, what they did is they increased his pigpen ability, you know, the thing that you lay on the ground, and you're able to throw it at an enemy and do damage. That just screams to me last minute homework assignment is due within 5 minutes, and they need to think of a change for Roadhog, so he's going straight into F tier. Sigma's change, once again, if they figure out how to balance it, can actually work in a normal comp. Being able to throw a rock and then decide when to drop it, that could really negate a lot of shield tanks' ability to be able to push onto someone if they know a rock could easily stop me. But once again, we're not really here to talk about competitive viability. We're here to talk about the funny and goofiness. Being able to clunk someone on the head, even though they have a shield, is funny. Plus his ultimate voice line, him talking backwards, which I actually don't know what it's. Play it right here.
What the Sigma?
I didn't even know that. It's going into B tier because there's a lot of fun, kooky elements with Sigma, and he's just a kooky guy. Sword Exchange, similar to Sigma, I feel like if they were to balance it, could actually work in a normal competitive setting. Being able to pull somebody with your Electro Ball could have a lot of strong usage for Sojourn, especially if you have your railgun fully charged, you pull them and then shoot them. That could be a really strong tactic because of that, and the ultimate voice line, bye-bye, bad guys, is really awesome. She's going straight into B tier. Sword Exchange would have been really good if they just would have left the balancing alone. You're able to run and gun with Soldier, but when you run and shoot at the same time, your spread is increased. They didn't need to do that. Like, let me run and shoot at the same time without nerfing myself. That's why he's going straight into C tier. Sombra Exchange, I'm gonna admit, I don't really like because nobody on the enemy team groups up. But basically how it works is that whenever you virus an enemy and you kill them, that virus is then gonna seek another enemy. And it makes sense, right? It's sort of like a parasite. Whenever a host body dies, it goes and seeks out another host body. Nobody on the enemy team plays with each other, and that means that you have to kill them when they're grouped up, but they all turn around. I don't know, like, I'm willing to admit that I'm just bad with Sombra and I can't take full advantage of this change. But the reason why I'm not putting her in D tier is because propaganda is useless and she's going straight to C tier because of that. Symmetra's April Fool's change is not good, I'm not gonna lie. Being able to only spawn in the exit of the Symmetra teleporter actually makes it worse. But it being good doesn't matter because what's more important than it being good is if it's funny. And this takes me back to 2016 Symmetra Overwatch. Being able to put a Symmetra teleporter near the edge of the map and just seeing your allies just fall off the edge is funny. The reason why this doesn't work anymore is because they actually have a space in between the edge and where you can put the teleporter. Say they nerfed the meme strap, but I still like being able to go all the way to the back of the map and then spawn the teleporter, somebody presses F, and then they gotta walk all the way back. It's funny, it's the epitome of April Fools, the idea of making your teammates look like a fool, which is why she's going straight into A tier. The same could also be said with Torbjorn's change. It's funny, it's creative, but more importantly, it actually makes Torbjorn a better hero. There is some good team viable strats, being able to put your turret on your allies and on yourself as Torbjorn, and on the walls, and on the ceiling. You can put the turret anywhere. Tell me you don't want this in normal Overwatch. And because of that, he's going straight into A tier because, again, it's goofy fun time, but it's good goofy fun time. Tracer's change is the epitome of creativeness because you can't make her change in the workshop. Basically how it works is whenever you recall as Tracer, you either go into the future or go into the past. My favorite is definitely the futuristic Tracer because I like the guns, but I love the old-timey grainy effect. But once again, I love Tracer's change just because of the UI changes. No other hero really has a change like Tracer, and that's why she's gonna be going straight into S tier just because, again, you can't make this in the workshop. Widowmaker's April Fool's change is actually very viable for her. Being able to get a headshot with your secondary fire gives you back a grapple, and you now have 3 grapples, can actually make her a much better hero. But in terms of an April Fool's update, this is probably gonna be one of the lamest in the game. If you want to make a hero better and more viable, then make them better, more viable outside the April Fool's update. Here, let's make them funny. This doesn't make them funny. That's why she's going straight into D tier. But she's lucky, this actually makes her a better sniper hero. Winton. 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 Tell me why I want Hammond's April Fool's change to actually be in the game. Being able to crab walk at 2 times the speed and do more damage is awesome. And I love his voice line. Touch the glowy balls for a prize. So good, man. He's going straight into A tier because, again, they're playing into the memes. He looks like a crab. They made him walk like a crab. Zarya's change, it's decent. Being able to increase your size as Zarya or your teammate's size whenever you bubble them is awesome. And especially paired up with Brigitte, my god, you just make her super mommy. But with her voice line not being the greatest group hug, it's short, sweet, and simple, but not my favorite. I don't know, I just feel like she belongs in C tier. But the final hero in the April Fool's update is none other than our favorite Omnic Zenyatta, and being able to fly when you charge up your secondary fire and being able to shoot a rapid amount of orbs is awesome. This is not not only a good change, it's a funny change, and I like his ultimate voice. Oh, I just love the April Fool's update so much, just to see what kind of creative changes they come up with, and I just love the fact that they made Zenyatta fly. So to end off this tier list, we're gonna put Zenyatta right into the S tier of heroes, but in all reality, if I didn't have to compare all these hero changes, all of them would be S tier, except for Hanzo. He's still gonna be an F tier, because I hate him. Please delete it. That'll be the next April Fool's update for Hanzo. Delete him! Yeah! But until they delete Hanzo, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.